giving them brain and then put them back. Going through this nonsense we are going through now. And a lot of them need brain transplants. But they are not going to be using our money to do it anymore. Let them just go. So, on this note, I will thank you very, very profusely for welcoming us into Portharcourt. We tell them all the time that wherever we go, not like MTN, that people are willing and ready to listen to us and to engage with us. But you know what they do these days? They will know what's happening here. They will run to Twitter. I've been doing Twitter posts. They came to them and said that Article 1 on Twitter, presidency of Nigeria. I said, well, he will become the president of Twitter. Yes. They said Buhari was second. He will become the vice president of Twitter. And whomever is the third will be the Senate president of Twitter. Let me acknowledge His Royal Highness King Oriye Iyo the Igani Ofrima. Please stand up for recognition of your royal. These are digital Royal Highness. Yes, sir. We are tired of all those Royal Highness who are always waiting in their palace. They will come and greet them. We do see some of them. We do see some of them because we also have to respect our culture. But sometimes we wish that we can engage more together like this. I want to. So they said it's the yes, let me one of Abiago Kingdom of Okrika local government. You are welcome. You know, one of the things they ask us, how do you get to the grassroots? Why are you going to get to the grassroots? He said, the grassroots is with us. We don't need to get to them. They also want to take it back. In the house is the River State Market Women Leader, Mrs. Omoyele. Where are you, madam? Take it back. These typically are the people that they rely upon, but they themselves are not wise. The market is not wise because they know that we cannot continue like it. I'm sure there are several others in the house. I dare to say to the University of Portharcourt in the house. SUT in the house. River State University of Technology, are you in the house? Yes. I guess they are busy preparing for the future, so let's use them. If you are from other high institutions in the state that we cannot just record what you know, please just give yourselves a round of applause. On this note, I will call on our moderator, Ken Hershaw, and just grant me a few seconds to tell you about Ken. You know, when you ask sometimes, what do people do when the people close to them do what is wrong? Most people will overlook it. They say, oh, you know, it's my brother, it's my sister, it's my townsman. Ken is one person that I really, really like. I don't want to use the word love because I don't want to spend 14 years in jail, you know, because when it was necessary in this country to stand up for the truth, when our brother was president and a lot of our colleagues were supporting him blindly, say, it's our brother, you cannot go against your brother. Dog doesn't eat dog. I said to them, you have never watched the internet. There was one dog in Mexico that ate another dog. They had to use stick to beat the dog out of his mouth. If a dog misbehaves, another dog will chop him. Ken stood firmly, and we were part of the people that powered, even though we had known for years, that powered what is known as Occupy Nigeria in 2012 against our own brother here. And it's a living example of a fair, open-minded person. And when he heard that I was doing this, he reached out to me by himself, said, please let me anchor Portharcourt. And you will know that there are good people in Portharcourt who also want progress for this country. Because prior to this time, they've always been telling us that Portharcourt is owned by some people. But as you know, Portharcourt is the home of good people. As Dr. Mighty would say, Ken is a Portharcourt boy. Yes, nice guy. This Portharcourt person. Not like the other one we sang about. We'll discuss them in the future. He was a great son of this part of the world, as a conscientious human rights fighter. And his project in recent times has been a major campaign fulcrum for us, environment. In the future, if you are not careful, if you come from here and we don't act fast, the suit will kill you if you don't kill the government that is bringing suit to Portharcourt. So Ken will moderate the question and answer session, and feel free to ask us any question you have. If we can't answer you, we'll direct you to Google. Thank you very much. Just a louder round of applause. That was a very detailed and long one. Thank you so much, Laura. Can we, in the first instance, take 4 questions? In the first instance. Okay, we'll start with numbers. Okay, so we'll take one from each of the rows. Of course, the Royal Highness is recognized. So we'll take him first. So Royal Highness first, him second, the third row. Take a lady. Lady. There's no lady here. You. And you. No, not you. Yes. Okay. We need to make the questions exceptionally brief. Nothing more than 1 minute. Please don't comment the great oratory of Sowore. We already know about that. So it's over to the Royal Highness, sir.
I stand on the existing protocol. As I have been introduced already, I am King Omoyele Egamafuma, the senior in the first of Okrika West. Yes. I have a problem, and I'm keenly listening to the speaker. He has not talked about the problem of Niger Delta, which I want to know, that has been disturbing the youths and the people of Niger Delta. That is the oil issue, the shoot, and the governance of oil production. Because I was opportune to be part of petroleum industry meeting. They said I held in Hotel Presidential last month. We agreed and suggested that the oil issue should be governed, managed by the community where this oil is coming from. The pipeline is passing through your place, your community, your village, name it. You should have the access to have the solar contract. Anything maintenance of that pipeline and transporting anything should come to the community. so that the community will benefit it. If you have an oil well, you have a truck line, you have a delivery line, you have a flow line, you have a platform. The management of those things, those facilities, the community should be part of it. So we demanded for community government and governance of those facilities. I don't know what this party or our coming presidents, what are his plans towards this area in Nigeria, which has been our problem. Another area is that the cabals in Nigeria, with their PVC and their voting machines, they are preparing their way to stand against anybody coming. What are their plans? This will give us courage to join you. Thank you very much.
Yours needs to be much shorter. Yeah.
Standing on existing protocol, my name is Gostan Omoyele from Unibor. Listening to your agendas, one of the major problems actually we have in this country is the problem of continuity. This person will come this year and say they want to do this, do that, do that. After his period, they won't do like 2% of what he's saying. Another person will come the next day and say, I want to do this, I want to do that. Now you're giving us about 10-point agenda, 10 things you want to do. Why do you think you can cover these 10 things in 4 years? Okay, 8. Why do you think you can cover those 8 things in 4 years?
Who was it there?
Okay, it's beautiful to finally see you in person. My honorable coverage. We had a chat on WhatsApp, and I stand with my family. Outside all the shenanigans and the excitement, which is beautiful, I think we should get down to some real things. I have 3 questions. I've given it to the coordinator, just so that it will be easy in case we miss any part of it. I took my time to type it. So that it will be deliberate. Okay. I had a 4th one that I just want to add, please. Let me make it the first. It's going to be fast, trust me. On restructuring now, the governors keep collecting money on that FAC every month. What do you intend to do about that? Because for me, I think that's part of our problems. They collect this money, make it their own, and make everybody look stupid collecting it. Will you consider regular system of restructuring that, when I say regular, where let's take the model of every state control their resources, or will you come up with a unique blend that see healthy competition among states and local governments? That's the one that is not there. Then back to the one you have there. We have a system where politicians benefit. Let me just read so that others too can hear. Where politicians benefit the most from our unity and the masses pay the greatest or highest price. How do you hope to swing the benefits in favor of all in the area of healthcare, medical tourism, education, access to favorable loans for startups, and security? You mentioned some, especially security, but I would love for you to go in detail, please. How do you hope to bring true dividend of democracy to the woman in the market? Fortunately, we have the leader of the market women here, and the man in the fishing port. Is road, electricity, security a type of dividend for you too? Because I don't think, in my own little thinking, if it's a dividend of democracy, I think it's a basic necessity of life. So I just hope I'm in line with you in that. What is your ideology as concerning allowance and remuneration in the entire system? Not just raising minimum wage. Taking a cue from Joesu's strike, which I want to believe you are very well familiar with, and the details surrounding it. Okay? How do you hope to make everyone useful and to feel comfortable with the workings of the system? Where for the records, I'm of UST, so UST is not missing, just I'm of class 2008. I left school 10 years ago. Okay, so I hope you do justice to that so that we can take it up.
Thank you. That was an answer. The last one for the first round.
Thank you very much. Comrade Shawari, you're welcome. I want to call him comrade because my friend and brother called him comrade. I'm Victor Washington from Andale local government area, River State, Nigeria. And I'm a Nigerian. I, first of all, want to find out how you intend to light up hope in every single Nigerian. Because, trust me, if you listen to the truest conversation of the people here, even those who are shouting and making noise, if you listen to their hearts, you will hear things like, oh, and don't finish now. Still the same people, and the same things over here. So how do you create that scenario, that situation where Nigerian people will not crave to want to pass through the desert to go to another country? How do you create that opportunity where a young Nigerian anywhere in the world will see the green, white, green flag and hold it so dear to his heart? How do you create that scenario? And lastly, what's your program for the environment generally? The oil spill and all of that. The general environment of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Your Highness, thank you so much for your opening question. And I just have to disclose to you a few things about my background that will convince you a little bit about what I have for the Niger Delta region. I was born and grew up in the Niger Delta region in Ondo State. So I come from the an oil producing community that is polluted now. That has gone through everything you've been through here. Second, also, to tell you that for most of my lifetime, apart from being a pro-democracy activist, I have ultimately been an environmental activist who has been working to ensure that the oil companies who are doing damage to the environment actually pay for it. I was part of a case against Chevron in California when they went and shot and killed the larger people. It was part of the case that was won by the Ogonians in New York, the little victory they ever had, in which they were paid some money. I provide assistance to all of this. But before then, I, alongside the likes of Oroto Douglas, Patrick Nagbaton, and Ken Henshaw here, Isaac, who's in Canada, have been working when we were young, with the likes of Ken Sarawiwa, to make sure that the Niger Delta environment is not what it is today. But you know the story. They sacrificed Ken to the oil companies so that they can continue to drink our oil without let or hindrance. I'm not saying that to scare anybody off, but if there's anybody who understands the environment, who understands the agony of the Niger Delta region, it will be me. And I'll use the story of what happened to me when I graduated from the university, getting a master's degree in the US, just to buttress the point. I graduated just like other white kids with a master's in public administration. While I was looking for a job, when I was agonizing about leaving school and not getting a job, two white guys approached me. They want me to advise them on how to live in the Niger Delta region because they just got a job for Shell. The job, I don't know their salary, but Shell paid them $50,000 each as sign-on bonus. I sat down with them, I said, you are going to my own part of the country. I can't get a job, but you got a sign-on bonus that's going to be bigger than my salary after I left the university in the US. My high salary was $35,000 a month. These guys got $50,000 as sign-on bonus just to come and work in Nigeria. They're coming to work in my backyard. But I, who was born there, who is the owner of the oil, was reduced to giving an advice on how to live in Niger Delta. So I told them that this is, now I understand, because sometimes they're very open and honest. If it's Nigerian, they'll never tell you that they got a 50,000 friends. I told this guy, I said, this is why people kidnap in Niger Delta region. And if I didn't have the mind, I would have just left the US now and go and join the militants. Yeah, I can't believe that somebody is paying you $50,000 to go to my country. And you want me to advise you on how to live there. I'm just giving that as an example of how much I know and how pained I am about what is happening here. I, as president of Nigeria, will take care of Niger Delta region more than anybody has ever done it, because not only am I born in the area, of course there are people who are born in the Niger Delta region who are worse than outsiders when it comes to the Niger Delta region. But I understand the environment, I understand the problems. I have been through poverty, I have been through pollution before. I have had to drink water that's had oil on the surface. I've had to put my clothes on my head to swim to school in the Niger Delta region when I was going to primary school. So I know all the problems and I understand it. I understand the PIB more than anybody does. I understand even the one they call PIB, the PIGB, whatever nonsense they reduce the PIB into. I understand all of those things. But sometimes also, not to sound biased, I don't give too much information about where I come from. Most people don't know where I come from actually. They accuse me of coming from all kinds of places, which is fine. But it is going to be a focus. But another thing I must say, and to summarize this, is that the Niger Delta region people also must start to prepare themselves for the end of oil. Oil is not a commodity that will last more than another 20 years. So we must start transitioning by way of investment in other things that will make the Niger Delta region an amazing place. It was part of the reason I was opposed to the way they were treating amnesty funds. The money that they were sending outside of the country to go and train people to become pilots and underwater welder could have been used to build universities here. And the universities will be our own and they'll be training our brothers and sisters. And it will not be money that is transported out of the country because we want to prove that I was trained abroad. What's the big deal about being trained abroad? You know what the other companies are doing with regards to employment. They will go and bring underwater welder from Philippines, people they can find, because they have no respect for us. And they abuse their immigration quota all the time. It is not the contract alone that you need as a Niger Delta. What is the contract? The contract they give you is small, peanut, compared to the contract they give to people who have ever visited Nigeria before. It's to look at what are the oil companies making in Nigeria, what should the communities get. That is where my own understanding. You don't have to work, slave work to get. There's no reason why the oil platform next to your village is a Christmas tree and your village is relying on lantern. Never. There's no reason why Bayelsa should have one petrol station up to a few years ago, and the places that don't even have oil have, petrol station all over the place. There's no reason why we could not have completed the East-West Highway and started even another one by now, and we are still struggling to even complete it. And every time we ask about it, they give us excuses, including our brothers who came from the Niger Delta. Because they are busy building their mansions in Abuja and Lagos. They forget where they come from. I am not like that. I know the problems and I've explained them to you to some extent. I am also an environmentalist. I am going to shut down the Portharcourt refinery until it can get the accountability converter so that the smoke that it shoots up there that's going to kill us in another 50 years will be clear. The refineries are too old. They are not supposed to be out there working until they have met environmental standards that are modern and compliant with what is applicable and obtainable everywhere in the world. I'll do the same thing for Warrior Refinery until the refineries meet the standard that is suitable for human living. They are doing this to kill you. This refinery here is not providing you anything. After all, the refinery is not refining anything anyway. You see how to import finished product from here. It's just a scam. Our environment is a scam. For the Ogoni land, we must clean up Ogoni land before we drill one drop of oil. The same thing might even apply to the entire Niger Delta region. Until justice is done, we should not be drilling the Niger Delta. I will say to you finally, I was part of the people that made a documentary called stealing and killing that led to Chevron to be in trouble. It's a radio documentary that was made around 1998 by Amy Goodman and Jeremy Skehi. I was the one with Rumola that drove them around the Niger Delta region and exposed the corruption that is happening and the injustices that is being done against the communities. The communities don't need handouts. They need real dough. In Texas, the people living there, they are making money. They don't even have to work. They have a special name they call them because they spend money like water. Because the oil is found in their backyard. There's nobody who has oil underneath their soil who will have to suffer during our tenure. And it's not going to be only the government. The oil companies must be made to pay the communities for the wealth of their land. The Niger Delta region is part of the reason why you see Amsterdam, the way you see it, beautiful. There's a place called San Ramon in the US. It has the best air quality, and the people that are working there, people who live there are people who work there with Chevron. Why should the Niger Delta region be a safe place to live in and a difficult place to breathe in? This is something we must stop. But you need a new government that is not afraid of the oil companies, that is not in bed with the oil companies, that is not getting corrupted by the oil companies to fix the Niger Delta region. And you guarantee that will come. The student for Unifor asked about continuity. Why do you think you can cover things in 4 years? You see, my brother, I have traveled enough, long and far and wide, to understand that it should not take 20 years to construct or fix a road between Lagos and Ibadan. 20 years. That's how long it has taken to do Lagos-Ibadan expressway. Let me tell you, when we had a runway problem in Abuja, how long did it take us to fix the runway? 5-6 months, right? Did you know that it took Scotland 24 hours to do the same thing? Anybody ever read about it? There's even a video about it. In China, they will build skyscrapers overnight. In Nigeria, it will take 10 years. It's basically a lot of people are cynical. But when you say to them, I went to Ibadan, I said we can finish the rest of the highway between Ibadan and Lagos in 1 month. I said, no, it's not possible. Don't make promises that are not possible. Until I broke it down to them, that we can at least do 4 kilometers per night and day. It's not difficult. But the problem is that when they give contract to Julius Berger, they will ask Julius Berger to go and build them a house first. In this country, Julius Berger will take the money to build the house first before they come and do the road. So by the time they use the most important aspect of the contract to build house first, the road will never be done. All you need is to have people who understand how these things work. And what will I do to do construction? I will never have in a country as of 180 million 2 construction companies with Julius Berger and RCC. We need up to 20 so that we can promote competition. So that anybody you want gets your contract. My own is to get there and make sure that they meet the standard. I'm working with the crew. And this is how much bitumen I want on the road. Don't come and put lipstick on the road and tell me that I put bitumen on it. And then the moment we drive past the place, rain falls, it goes away. Because people are collecting bribes. It is this same country that they did the Lagos-Shagamu-Benin road. The road is still good today. It was not until the other day that Fashola went and started scraping the surface of the bridge that links Lagos to that road. High quality. Where did they get the engineers to design that we cannot get in 2018? So, SARS and students, do not worry. Every year, there's a budget, there's a national budget that makes provision for these things. Monies are released, monies are disappearing. And then, when you ask for it, they will give you excuses. And where they are not giving you excuses, they will package what they call stomach infrastructure and build your bridge inside your stomach. It's for you to repudiate and reject and abandon these people who do this to you. People are just plainly wicked. The people who tell you that they cannot provide trains in Nigeria, they will go abroad and enter into train in public. They'll sit down, governors, they'll sit down next to a poor person. When they come to Nigeria, they'll be walking around with 20-car convoy. An average government in Nigeria is protected by 200 policemen. SSS is another 50. Sometimes they will use army. Sometimes they will use civil defense. They will add navy on top. One governor. When you create emperors like that, there's no way anything can get done. Because what they are doing is that when they steal, they want to be protected from your anger. But when you have in power a government or a president who can get in the helicopter at night and ask him to fly him to a construction site and ask the manager managing the site, sir, when are you delivering the roads? And if he's giving you tuition, he will hear from you the next day. That is the kind of country you need. But when was it that you saw a president of Nigeria on the construction site? They will not go there, but they will go and commission the road that has not been completed. Jonathan, our brother here, went and commissioned Second Niger Bridge. It was a model of it. The president is on the wall like this. During the election in 2014, when we reported in Osara reporters, his people got upset. They started bringing fake pictures of bridges in China and other things that were being constructed. They said, see. But we saw it. That's the kind of leaders we have in Nigeria. It is not difficult to do things that are paid for already. Because before we ask and put it in the budget, we have already done the costing. We already know what used to be done. We have engineers in this country. We can't find engineers within the country. There are Nigerians who are good engineers designing other places. Nigeria cannot manage 4 toilets at the international airport in Lagos. Nigeria cannot construct a terminal at Portharcourt International Airport. This is the airport that is hosting all the international oil workers. The shed is what they call arrival and departure port. If rain comes, it will carry everything. That is the shame of the country that we have, and that's what we should address. Don't doubt our capability to change this country. What you should worry about is if under any circumstance, after telling you the truth today, which I've always done my entire life, if you turn a blind eye to it and you vote for one of the criminals and the competent people, do not blame me, blame yourselves. If you don't go home today and convince your brother, your sister, your mom to get a PVC and ensure that we change the course of this country, blame yourself. I, as president of Nigeria, will come in with a warranty. I come with guarantee. I come with pedigree. I will be coming with good health. Right? I cannot say what is going to happen tomorrow. But as of today, in this my body, I've done 8 marathons before. So you cannot compare me with a man who cannot carry his leg. And we need that also to move this country forward. We need healthy leaders. Agile. Very agile, healthy leaders who can get up and go and resolve problems. Because some of Nigeria's problems actually need physical presence of the president, and the problem will disappear. Sometimes it might just be about visiting troops where they are fighting and boosting their morale. Our president cannot go there. Our
even
generals,
as an old general.
yes.
Yeah.
These are the kind of leaders you have. I'm sorry if I get a little bit emotional. Somebody mentioned every state to control their resources. I agree. But what happens to the states that have no resources? I've been asking myself, if we ask Osun states to control their resources, is it going to be the Ikire that they are going to be selling? We must live with the reality that the Nigerian nation is not every state that has resources. Some of the states are not even viable. And if you stand up today and say you want to collapse a state into the other, you are inviting anarchy. So those states, it's a matter and function of managing resources we have. If we do justice to what we have right now, everybody will be all right in Nigeria. But I am of the opinion, and I said to you, Your Royal Highness, that for communities that have resources, they must get a greater control of that resource. If Chevron or Shell is taking, and we'll do the calculation, if they are taking $10 billion from your community every year, they must be able to retain at least $2 billion in place. And I can guarantee you that if they give a community $2 billion in this country, dollars, the community will turn into something else overnight. And they will help the next community and the next community. You know, right? We are not going to be a nation of NDDC that is building air conditioning walkway. No, that is not development. By now, NDDC should have built a super highway across the Niger Delta region. By now, the NDDC should have had to its name some powerful international university that everybody is coming to attend from other countries. By now, the NDDC should be having the best 10 hospitals in Nigeria. NDDC, the kind of investment that has been made into that place. By now, the NDDC should have turned the Niger Delta into an electric and Christmas tree by investing in power. But what does the NDDC do? They have transformers. They are donating transformers to communities every year. This NDDC, they are donating chairs. The chair that Awolowo brought to my high school in 1985 is still there. The NDDC one collapsed after 2 months. NDDC is awarding contracts, and I'm saying it before every one of you, to people to provide solar street lights in the village. One of the bulb, to replace the bulb, is 140,000 naira. That is what the contractors get. The bulbs, they don't even cost 40 naira. This country is a scam. And until we stop the bleeding, we cannot make progress. Lighting hope in Nigeria, and I will stop there and take more questions. The hope that Nigeria needs is the one that will bring about ourselves. You see, this business of selling hope is like selling snake oil to people. I don't want to sell you hope when I know that you can get more than hope if you do what is right. We can't be hoping for a better society where we can build a fantastic country for ourselves. That is the challenge in front of us, is to break down the barriers that have been preventing us from reaching the promised land. It's for us to decide today, on young and old in this room, that we are not going to play the politics of 5 naira, 500 naira, or Ankara, or branded rice. Or as young people, that we are not going to make ourselves available to hijack ballot boxes for anybody anymore, or to assassinate on behalf of any politician. That we want to take the country for ourselves. We withdraw our services from the bad guys, and your country will be there for you to be proud of without necessarily expecting hope. Hope is what got us to this point. Doing what is right is what must take us from where we are now. And we can do it. We can make this country work. We can actually have a country where people go to bed 24 hours and they wake up with electricity, and they're not wondering what happened to NEPA. Because that's the situation now. Anytime you have light more than 6 hours, that's it. What's the problem now? Why do we have lights? Why do we have light? When you don't have malaria, you say, why haven't I had malaria in the last 2 weeks? I don't know, everything is alright. You know, that's the kind of country we are. But you were not supposed to be having malaria every 2 weeks. You are not supposed to have malaria at all. You are not supposed to be running around wondering if you have Lassa fever. Lassa fever don't exist anywhere else except Nigeria. And kind of, yes. So many of the diseases that are afflicting us there, they have been wiped out in other countries. But they are still here with us, because that's the diseases that they use in keeping you down. Do you know that if you have malaria, you can never drink well? No, it's true. The moment your body temperature goes up, this one is simple science. You start having nightmares. I remember in those days when I used to have malaria regularly. When I sleep, I'll be falling, but I'll never touch the ground. I'll just be spinning. Because your temperature is too high for you to maintain a normal body functioning. That is what malaria has done to us, and malaria is still with us. Whereas we could have taken malaria out of our life a long time ago and improved the quality of life. Do you know that an average Nigerian is supposed to live for only 53 years? That is what you are entitled to. Meaning that, sir, if you were born in 1960, you are supposed to have died by now. Because Nigeria is 58 years old, you are supposed to die at 53. That is the story of Nigeria. And we must change the narrative come next year. So we'll take the next set of questions, Ken. question. So the first set was just guys. Can we give preference to ladies now? Can we take the question here? You need to be very, very fast. Very fast.
Greatest Nigerian people. Now, my question goes to Comrade Sowore. As a president, how do you intend to work with the National Assembly? I mean, the way it is. Because we are in a democracy, and we all know that most decisions, you can't just wake up and take most decisions on your own. And we all know how, I don't need to say much about this, we all know about the Senate and House of Reps. Now, how do you intend to work with them? And secondly, how do you intend to checkmate these state governors who owe salaries for months or even years? They owe pensioners, they owe salaries. Now, what do you intend to do to checkmate them to end all this?
Next question. Any female?
Good evening, all. My name is Henry. My first question is, according to your statement, sir, you said that most of the judges are corrupt. And I would like to ask, how do you intend changing the Nigerian judicial system, tackling corruption in the judiciary and making sure that the common man on the street is able to have faith in the Nigerian judiciary? And the second question is, we all know the story about the Nigerian legislatures, the bogus salary, allowances, and everything. Number one, I want to ask, do you think the current legislative system in Nigeria is what suits us? Or do we need to change the Nigerian legislative system from the way it is operating? Thank you.
Thank you. What to go to the next room? I'm actually looking for a woman.
My name is John Dike. I'm a human rights activist. I have one question, two questions for you, sir. When elected president, how do you hope to make your government, your cabinet, accessible to the people? Because I had a friend who, in Nigeria, from Canada, just called somebody from one of the government cabinets, and they relate, and that's how it is all over. How do you hope to make your government accessible, that citizens can just on their own call you, call anybody, and then they ask their questions, they make their complaints? So that's one. And two, women and children. You mentioned something about education. But I don't know what's your plan. What's your plan for children who are living in abject poverty? Where I live, I have a family whose the woman has about 6 children. Nothing to eat, no food to eat, no school, no way. How do you hope to make this happen? So that the least of the society, the least person in the society can have access to education. And also, this overemphasis on certificates. What are your plans to at least diversify so that others, people who have talents, who have other areas of making things wrong for their lives, can actually make their living, so that we can reduce this too much attention on certificates? Thank you.
Just one more.
Hello, sir.
Very quickly, please.
Christian Business Report. So my question is, you started this process using a town hall meeting for campaign. Before now, town meetings were really essential in every community, through which active individuals discuss the needs for the government. Now my question is, if you emerge as the president, will you still be calling town hall meetings? If yes, how? Thank you.
I know there are so many questions, but you can get this question to answer online, really.
Not really, hello? Yes. I will start by answering the question from a lady about transparency in government. Is there any one of you who remember that Sahara reporters released the telephone numbers of all ministers and governors in Nigeria? Did you guys know about it? Yeah. So it will be compulsory for anybody who is willing to serve in our government to allow the government to release their phone numbers to the public. Compulsory. From the minister to the permanent secretary to the clerk. And the police is already doing it. Most police commissioners actually have their phones available publicly. So there's no big deal about being the minister at all. We are the ones who have created an aura of invisibility around them. And we need to start removing them by making them become ordinary people like the rest of us again. If you're a minister, somebody should be able to call you. In fact, Kachuku said that thing helped him so much. He said on national TV that some militants were going to blow up the pipeline. But they realized that they have his number on Sahara reporters. They called him, he was able to calm them down, and they didn't have to blow the pipeline up. They had dialogue. So you can imagine that. The second thing about town hall meetings, yes, as president of Nigeria, I will continue to have town hall meetings. It might change in nature and character. Instead of doing the physical one, we might be doing what we call digital town hall meetings, where we can join you by Facebook and you ask the president questions. As the president of Nigeria, I would love to have my own radio show where you can call in and ask me any question and expect me to answer it. And I know that people will say, well, it's not possible. Well, what am I doing now? There's no other candidate that has done as many town hall meetings as we have done since we started. They can't cope. But if we are leaving this place, we are going to worry tomorrow. We have done town hall meetings both in Nigeria and abroad, reaching out to Nigeria. And Nigerians everywhere. We've done in New York, we've done in Toronto, we've done in Montreal, Canada, we've done in London, we've done in Ibadan, we've done in Kaduna, we've done in Calabar, we've done in Ilorin. We are going to worry tomorrow. We've done in Aba, Umahia, we've done in Omoyele. I've done in Akure. Just name it. We are here in Portharcourt now. So, and I agree with you, this was how our parents discussed issues and resolved issues. And one of the things that we institute, by the way, as president, is to also allow people to discuss their needs in town hall meetings like this. Even the budget of the community can be discussed at the town hall meeting. So that we don't always assume that every community needs what the government imposes upon them. And we must make it clear and transparent that every budget as it relates to every community must be made available through the World Wide Web, the internet. Also, as part of the transparency initiative of the government, every government official that has declared its assets, it will be accessible to you on the website, so that if the asset they declare is a lie, you can say that I know another house, my house, and report the man. That will reduce the fraud of ministers declaring assets they don't already have, or governors declaring assets they don't already have. Another thing that we promote transparently, immediately after coming to government through an executive order, is to make available to the public all the owners of companies that are registered at the ICAC. Because that's where the fraud comes from, especially from state governments. They will go and set up companies with their wife and children and unborn babies, and they'll be awarding contracts to it. But if you can make those documents available, when you hear that the company has awarded the contract, you go to the website, to check who are the directors. If you are saying Buhari, then you know that he has awarded the contract to his children. And we can cry out, because that is conflict of interest. It's actually illegal. Regarding the National Assembly and how we tend to work with them, we will work with the National Assembly that's working for the Nigerian people. And I tell you, I'm using this opportunity, I beg you, any one of you that can contest for any position that's available in 2019, go and contest. You will be surprised how possible it is you can defeat some of these guys. I'm telling you, contest for the position. Don't feel inferior to them. If you lose now, you will win another time. But most importantly, this election that we are planning to do will be an election for good people and an election of bad people. So if you have senators that are not representing you properly, this is the time to vote them out. We went to Ilorin. They told us that nobody has the guts to enter Ilorin because it's owned by the Senate President. But the crowd that came to our town hall meeting, you can see it online, massive crowd. And when you have a massive crowd, there's nothing they can do to touch you. Because the reason why people came to our town hall meeting in Ilorin is because they have now finally an opportunity to see somebody who can give them fresh ideas. They've been caged and enslaved over the years by just one family, a dynasty in the state. And suddenly now, there's message that liberation is coming. They came out en masse. They even wanted us to go around the town. But we had another rally in Omoyele, and we had to leave. This thing you are doing here is also a testimony to what you want. They are watching us live on Facebook, by the way, all over the world. The government officials are watching us. One day, I'll give you an example. I was doing a program in London, speaking like this. I'm talking about corruption in Nigeria. If Bukola Saraki was watching it, he didn't know that when you watch this program, your name would be listed under it. So somebody saw it and quickly took a screenshot. They said, Saraki is watching Showore, speaking about corruption. They quickly log out of it. They are watching us. They are watching us. They know what we are saying. And by sitting here and listening, and by the way, you are doing something that has never been done before in the history of politics in Nigeria. You are not sitting down there and they say, where's Coca-Cola? Give me bread. Please add more. You are here, we've been here for almost 2 hours. Nobody, one of you asked for us for water. None. You are here just exchanging and listening to ideas that can liberate. Because we know we can't afford to bribe you. Nobody bribed you to come here. Did anybody give you money to come here? No. Did anybody promise you that after here you get any money? No. In fact, we are raising money online. People are donating to us through our account. 1,500. By today, I think we have reached about 1.2 million naira. We opened it 3 days ago. People are donating to us through their account we put on Facebook. 1,000 here. If 1 million Nigerians donate 1,000, these people will run away. We are relying on you to fund this campaign because it's a defeat of the godfathers that have held Nigeria to ransom over all these years. Yes, you mentioned reliance on certificates. Very good point. Well, the technology at the bottom of our program of action is about intellect. And intellect or intellectuals are not only people with paper certificates. You know, some of the most innovative people in the world actually dropped out of the university. Number one of them being Bill Gates. Right? So, there is no reason why you'll be abandoned or discredited because you don't have a paper certificate. Our selling rates, most of our leaders with paper certificate, they forge their certificates. Or they paid some lecturers to help them write their exam, write their project for them. And they are going around with certificates. It's not going to be a paper certificate country. It's going to be a country that can be built by people with intellect, people with commitment, people with focus, people who have brains. And that is why I was talking about all the programs we talk about. There was no one in which we said you have to be a PhD holder to be a security agent. Or that you have to be a PhD holder to be the power sector using the power sector. We are going to be using our hands and brains and heart to build this country. So certificates will be necessary but not compulsory. In several of the things we want to do, like the infrastructure sector, the agriculture sector, we are going to need our traditional rulers here to give us land, plenty of it, and direct us on how to grow the way they used to grow organically in their own part of the world. Because one thing that we are in danger of that we have not even discussed is the spread of genetically modified products, which is going to be another dangerous dimension to how we feed ourselves. Because people are bringing crops into this country that they can grow, which can turn to petrol, but not to feed. Because they are only interested in using us to take care of their own society. But we are interested in taking care of our own society first before we take care of anybody's society. It's the reason why to solve the energy problem, any oil company that is drilling in the Niger Delta region should not be taking our oil to go and refine and bring back to us as finished product. They should be able to put refineries that are environmentally certified to work around here and refine the products here, employ our brothers and sisters, sell the products to our people at affordable rates before we take care of other people. That is going to be our instructions, and it's going to be a mandate that we deliver to our people. Governors, the governors are basically engaging in outright robbery. I'm not afraid to say it. And the way to checkmate governors is to implement the laws of our lands. Our governors have become criminals. Most governors are acting as emperors. One of the things that we need to do, and it might not sound interesting, but important, is to reduce their security. If these people know that they don't have the kind of security that will protect them against the people, they'll become more responsive and responsible to the people. Can you imagine a governor who has 4 policemen? Now he has to deal with the NLC, make sure they pay their salary. He will prefer to pay that salary than to have to deal with them if they will lay him on the way out. But when you have governors that have 20 cars, even the president of the US, Donald Trump, doesn't have more than 6 car convoy. I don't know if you guys have seen a woman who was riding a bicycle, giving him a middle finger. If it's in Nigeria, can you ever get close to the president to give him a middle finger? Because he would have closed the road before he arrives, close the road after he has reached his house, then open the road after they remember that the president has woken up. They close the airspace for the president. What kind of country is that? People are not doing nothing for us. So the governors we have to be dealt with according to the law. Governors that are stealing, we must also remove immunity from our laws. And I mean immunity from our laws completely. Even the president does not need immunity. If a president is not going to steal, what does he need immunity for? If you are not going to be committing murder, why do you need immunity? If you are just going to go there and do your job, you don't need immunity. The rest of us that don't have immunity, are we walking around afraid? I don't have immunity, but I practice what I believe. And it doesn't mean that if you arrest me, I can't fight. I call my lawyer. If you arrest the president, let him also call his lawyer to come and bail him. If he has committed an infraction. Everybody should be subject to the laws of the law. Nobody should be above the law. The governors and their deputies being above the law is the reason we have impunity in governance at the level of the state government, even at the presidential level. And yes, there was a question about why they are not paying salaries. The governors are thieves. A lot of governors are thieves. They are just outrightly stealing the salaries of the workers. And the other part is that the workers' unions too have become compromised. A lot of them. Otherwise, they told us at the beginning of the Buhari regime that there was no money to pay salary. Buhari then brought out bailout funds that were not even budgeted. Extra budgetary bailout funds were paid to a lot of states. What they call the Paris Club refund. What did the governors do with it? They still stole it. The governor of Zamfara, who was the president of the chairman of the governors forum, we found that he bought a house in the US immediately after the bailout. They were buying houses, they bought 3 houses in Lagos. This is what is the problem. And our security agencies are not proactive enough because there's no way you transfer money that the security agencies, especially the SEC, is not supposed to know. There's something they are supposed to be called a suspicious transaction report, STR. Anybody transferring money bigger than a certain amount is supposed to be reported immediately after the money. So that before they steal the money, you would have stopped or frozen the account. But our security agencies, in particular the FCC, is not doing enough to stop it. We will do everything we can to stop them before they steal. For the senators, even the Revenue Allocation Committee in the nation said that senators are not entitled to more than 1.7 billion naira for allowances, but they are taking home 13.5. By next year, it will be double that because it just increased the budget by 508 billion naira meant for the senators. Somebody asked me, do you think we need a National Assembly of bicameral legislative bodies? I said no. If wishes were horses, the Senate should be taken out of it. We have a National House of Representatives, and they can be working part-time. If you don't come to work, you don't get paid. Let that be our only legislative body. That way, it is faster to do things, and it is not burdensome on the country. The United States of America has a $21 trillion economy. They have only 100 senators. They have 320 million people in their population, 100 senators. Nigeria has a $31 billion economy, and 198 million people, 109 senators. That means that even by common sense, we are not doing what is right in terms of our legislative arms of government. So I would say, may sense fall on us so that we can do something about our National Assembly. Yeah, judiciary is my last question. What do you do about the judiciary? There is nothing the judiciary is doing that cannot be caught, by the way. Every country in the world that has the judicial problem we have, they send the police after judges to go after them and make sure that any judge that has committed a crime, especially of corruption, the worst crime a judge can commit is to be corrupt. The worst thing that can happen to a person who is standing in front of a judge is to know that the judgment or pronouncement of the judge in front of whom he is standing has already been procured against him or is biased against him. As long as we don't have judges that are upright, nobody is safe in this country. And you all know it, for those of you who have had litigation in front of terrible judges before. When I mean terrible judges, judges who have already been compromised. And you can know them from the way they handle election matters. I think Rivers is a good example of it, where the lower court says the elections are unfair. The judges at the top says they are free and fair. But when you look in between, you know that, as they say, a lot of waters are passed underneath the bridge. We have to go after them with law enforcement agencies. We have to go after them by, in some cases, which is what other countries would do, is to lure the judges with bribes and capture them digitally, collecting bribes. In Ghana, a journalist, just one journalist named Anas, took down about 20 judges. What they did was they cooperated with the police and just the lawyer in real life. And they started grabbing lawyers and judges and recording them. Some of the judges even took their arm and goats to their house. The judge came out, collected the rope of the goat. The goat was also very like this, took it inside, recorded everything. Then they did a documentary. Over 20 judges were taken down at once. Our judges do not collect goats. I can tell you that. There's no Nigerian judge that will accept goats from you. We have to upgrade our own Mercedes Benz. But you can still catch them because they are the ones that are corrupt. You don't even need to go too far. It's not only high court judges that are corrupt. The worst judges in this country are magistrates. Those ones, before you like this, they'll be telling you when you are granted bail, they will just be playing around with you. You will never get the bail except you have bribed everybody in the courtroom. Even the lawyers that say that they are upright, when their client is saying to them, look, I want to leave home. If you cannot take care of the case, I will take the money from you and go and give it to all the court workers. It's an unjust system when it comes to the judiciary, but there has to be a surgical operation to remove judges that are corrupt. Buhari tried to do it, but because they had no capacity and because they were blinded by ethnicity, they couldn't go far. The reason was that the moment they arrested the judges and people started shouting, what about northern judges that are corrupt? They had to let everybody go. Because they don't want to touch their brothers who are corrupt in the judiciary. There's nothing more terrible than nepotism and tribalism in many societies. So I think those are questions from the last session. We will take more. No. We're good. This is the first time that I have completely satisfied people who are on the system. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But here is the deal. If by any shred of imagination, things that you forgot came up to you, you can go on our website, on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Omoyele Sowore. We have a Facebook campaign page, Sowore 2019. It's pretty active. We also have actually a TV station now called TakeItBack TV, which is running 24 hours. You can drop your questions there. I occasionally do Facebook Live when I'm traveling. Even sometimes when I'm flying, if I find the Wi-Fi up there, I begin to transmit without my own. Until the pilot comes in and says they interfere with navigation, I will stop back. But what I found out as a scientist, as a geographer, is that the biggest lie that pilots tell you is that your cell phone is interfering with it. The cell phone doesn't interfere with navigational aids in the plane. The planes are more advanced these days than what they tell you. But, you know, the reason they don't want using telephone is that when they apply from Lagos, they know they care. Because they get jiggy, and when the jiggy happens, people start filming, people when they pray, say, I beg, don't let this plane crash you. They don't like all those embarrassment. And you know some of our planes have been around for 20 years, smoke when they come up from the roof. They don't want you to be filming all those things. Anyways, I'm always available throughout this campaign, and I've always been available, and I will always be available even after this. Again, the reason why we need ourselves, not me now, the reason we need ourselves to be in power is the stamina we have demonstrated here today, is the courage that you're seeing in the house, is the camaraderie you see in the room, is the unity of purpose that is steering through this room. I can feel it. I can feel it. And I hope you continue to spread it, that we will take it back. 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 I've been told to ask how many people in the house have PVCs. That's permanent voters card. Can you please raise up your hand? Can you raise up your hand? Yes. Very good. That's a very, very good and sizable number. If we conducted the same survey, brother, you can put your hands down. I know you have to. Take it back. Take it back. So, but there's still a number of us that don't have PVCs in the house. Please, go and get your PVC. It's going to be our most powerful tool to send these people back. I say something about when you said that we are lazy, that we will perform our last act of laziness in February 2019. We will be so lazy that we will become so powerful the day after. Anybody that ever said we are lazy will regret ever saying it. And even if they don't regret it now, it's too late not to regret. We are still going to perform that act. It's up to them to know whether if you are lazy or not come February 2019. So, please, if you have not obtained your PVC, I implore you, if your mother hasn't gotten it, ask your mom to get it. If somebody doesn't have PVC and you are getting married, don't invite them to their wedding, your weddings. If somebody is your boyfriend and doesn't have PVC or is trying to toast you, tell them to get PVC first before you can have a conversation. If your husband is your girlfriend and doesn't have PVC, start to tell him or I mean tend to tell her that you are interested in a girl that has PVC. And vice versa, you know. This is how we roll as young people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, comrade. Thank you very much. This was actually supposed to be a 2-hour town hall meeting, but spent way past 2 hours. We've had a rally, we've had a conversation, we've asked questions, we've received answers, but I'm sure that there are several more questions yet to be asked. This is a full-time campaign, 24 hours. The TV station you can link up to. You can join the Facebook group, TakeItBack Movement, SOWORE 2019, TakeItBack Movement. It's on Facebook. On Facebook also, you can join you can check out the page, SOWORE 2019. On Twitter, at SOWORE 2019. On Instagram, at SOWORE 2019. These are all the different outlets you can keep the communication going. But even over and above, the main communication is when we leave this room. It's in how we talk to our friends, our family members, and our colleagues. It's in telling them there's still some kind of hope for this country, and I can actually take back this country. It's not impossible. It's not rigmarole. It's not a dream. It's real. It can happen. As long as we decide it should happen. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let me thank sincerely Comrade SOWORE, who has been in the States since yesterday and has had this conversation with us. Despite his very extremely tight schedule. Thank you so much, comrade.
Thank you.
Let me also sincerely thank the chairperson of
Chairman. Yes,
chairman.
We call chairman. Yes.
The chairman.
Yes.
The national chairman of the National Interest Party.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. And the National Publicity Secretary also. And our own very dear Dr. Leonard Nzenwa. Thank you so much for always being around during all the meetings. Thank you so much. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let me sincerely thank our royal father who made it here to the town hall meeting, participated in it, and made a very informed intervention. This is the kind of traditional rulers we need to take back our own country. But even over and above all the people's times, permit me to thank you, men and women, who found the time to leave whatever it was we had to do this Thursday afternoon, to sit down here with us and have this conversation. I honestly think that there's any way I could say thank you to you, other than to simply say thank you very, very much for finding time to be here and keep the conversation going. We will take back our country one conversation at a time. Thank you very much.
Before you go, we have to sing our own national anthem, which is the Solidarity National Anthem. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights.
Take it back.
Take it back. Take it back. All right. So.
No. She has to come. Your Excellency.
Okay.
Your Excellency to be.
Okay.
All right. Please, let's have some time with you out there.
I'll give you my card. Please, can you get my card?
Please, move. Please, move. Call them back. Call them back. Move.
Let me finish what I'm doing.
See, you'll be giving short.
So, and another thing is that the 100,000 the first idea is fantastic job. So you should work on that.
Should we bring it out?
But Bright, remember the boss who enter?
Yes, but
What are they? Do you have bags upstairs?
okay, upstairs. Yeah. We have bags.
Yeah, we're there. Go ahead.
Omoyele SOWORE, one of you, publisher of Sahara Reporters.
Why did you opt for leaving your media as opposed to be your...
There's nothing more political than media business, because we are the ones who actually get to see politics as it is. And if anybody could be disappointed with politics or political activities, it would be the media first, because they know what is happening there. I just felt that the country cannot be left in the hands of people who are politicians, traditional politicians. This country needs just more than traditional politicians, and the revolutionary politics is necessary. That's why I threw my heart into it. I've been doing well so far. Unfortunately, we have not been getting the support of the mainstream media, because we don't think that this is important, because we are not the big governors and the big presidents and ministers who are actually friends with you at the levels that they understand you like them. But we know that at the point we all come to a rally point.
This is supposed to be a town hall meeting.
That's right.
So, why the choice of a hotel? Why not a place square where all the shades of people should be there and see you are talking, you are asking?
Wherever you choose to have a town hall meeting becomes the village square. That's how it works. What is important is to invite people to the place. It's just like saying that if a church activity happens in a hotel, you have not fulfilled the mandate of Christianity. You can meet anywhere and serve God. You can meet anywhere and serve Allah. You can meet anywhere and discuss politics. You know, the hotel is also a political place. It's a space. It's just an ordinary space that we chose to use for our town hall meeting, because that is what is affordable. That is what is available at this time. But don't forget that we do meetings everywhere. We meet with Nigerians in the town halls. We meet them in the markets. I've had courses. I have had course. To even address Nigerians in a plane, inside the plane before, on the way to New York, because they saw me walking towards the back of the plane and they said they have questions. So I'm everywhere, and we are willing and able to meet Nigerians wherever they need us to address their needs and to discuss their aspiration for the future.
Mr. President, you spoke about digitalizing your government, and we are looking at the rural Nigerians.
Yes.
How will you want to do that, sir?
Last time I went to my village, I was able to make a FaceTime call from there.
Okay.
That's digitalized already. But the problem is that when I go back to the village next time, the guy who has a diesel that is powering the tower ran away with the diesel because he's selling the diesel.
Okay.
So, but imagine if there's electricity. That means that tower will be available, and there won't be any part of Nigeria that you can call rural, because if you can call somebody and reach them, you can't say that they live a rural life anymore. So would you now prefer to live in a village where it's cheaper, you have your telephone, you can watch TV, you have cable, now to go and live in a crowded part of the world that is called a city? It is part of the way to also start to decentralize, and depopulate the cities is by digitalization. Because if you can get the kind of treatment, medical treatment you need in the village, why do you want to live in Lagos or Portharcourt, or that has soup, where you can eat natural food, drink fresh water? If you have access to the kind of education that they have in America, why do you want to live in Portharcourt? There's no need for the hustle that we have here. Digitalizing Nigeria will solve a lot of problems. Even picking up a phone call to call a doctor to treat you, you can do it from your village. You can call a doctor in America if you have what we call telemedicine, which will bring to bear this. You can have an American doctor treating you in Nigeria without seeing you. He just point to you where to buy the medicine that you need to buy. They can do that for free. There's a lot of opportunity that comes with digitalizing Nigeria. It also has to do even with procurement, where if you need something, you just type it into a secure server and it will be delivered to you. And very soon, we will have drones delivering stuff to you in the village. You might need blood, that will hook it onto a drone. We put the coordinates on the drone and you deliver it to us in the village. They are doing it already in Rwanda. So we just need a president that has digital brain, not the analog.
Not the analog one.
So, President, my question is, consider the fact that all the money bags are your own party, APC and PDP. What are your chances? That's one. Two. Also consider by the fact that electoral access, all the parties should finish the convention August, October. How do you intend to carry out your convention and emerge as the face of the election?
Did you just hear that the chair of the National Interest Party was here with us?
Okay.
And so many political parties have indicated interest in working with us. We're actually looking to set up a coalition of parties.
Okay.
We don't have a problem with finding a party. We don't have a problem in defeating the money bags. The money bags were defeated in 2015. The guys who were the richest were the one that won the election in 2015. Where they were distributing dollars to traditional rulers all over the place. The party that spent the least amount of money won the election. I'm not saying that APCs now, they have become money bags now too. But at that time, at least we didn't see them with as much money as they have now. So what we defeat these people, and that's why we're doing this now, is ideas. Ideas have always defeated money all over the world, and there's no reason why Nigeria should be an exception.
Sir, please, you didn't address the question of citizenship.
Say that again.
The question of citizenship. Who is a Nigerian? Citizenship.
Who is a Nigerian?
Yes, no, what I mean exactly is citizenship. That is the exact word. I'll give you an instance.
Yes.
It's not every British citizen that is English.
Yes.
But they are all British.
Yes.
They can vie for any post because they are British, not necessarily English.
Yes.
So how do you intend to sort that
Maybe
out? Considering our ethnic,
what we are trying to ask me is, one of the things we must abolish immediately is the state of origin clause in the Constitution. It's an oxymoron. You cannot be asking for the unity of Nigeria on one side, and then you turn around and say that people should vote only in their state. In fact, INEC is also a culprit. We should not have a situation where you have to go to your village to vote. INEC should be able to allow you to vote as long as you have a voter's card, to vote for whomever you want anywhere in the country where you find yourself. Also to run for office anywhere in the country, wherever you come from. That is real uniting Nigeria. But our analog leaders don't think that way, because they want to retain the ethnic cocoons and at the same time be preaching unity. And I want to answer the guy who's talking about a referendum. It's a very, very important question. We cannot continue to suppress our aspirations to have a free country. We've tried very hard to live in Nigeria that can support Nigeria have disappointed you. But here is my answer. If you let us try this before we break up. Let's try justice. And if we have justice, if an Igbo man is not discriminated against in Kano, and nobody is trying to cut off his head because he's Christian, and they can live anywhere, then if he still wants to break away, then so be it. But let's try one more thing. My understanding with the agitation for referendum is that Nigeria continues to mistreat you. And Nigeria continues to mistreat me too. Yeah. And nobody should be isolated. But if the rest of Nigerians are not willing to fight as a group, their oppressors, any part of Nigeria is free to fight to be free from the complacent Nigeria. You know, and this is why I cannot be against what you're doing. But as president of Nigeria, my first thing would be to visit the East and sit down, even with the separatists in the place. Let's talk. They are young people like me. I was the first person to interview in New York over Skype. In fact, the interview we had with him is one of the things they are using against him in the court of trial. And we made it public that this young man has grievances. And a lot of people, let me tell you, there are not a lot of Nigerians who have not mentally seceded from Nigeria. You guys just happen to be the most organized secession group. But a lot of us have left Nigeria. The Nigerians that are traveling by road to Libya, they are seceding from Nigeria. Nigerians who are getting on rickety boats, knowing that they could die, trying to cross the Mediterranean, they are seceded from Nigeria. Because they are saying to you that it's better to die than to be in Nigeria. That's what they are saying. That is what their travel translates to. Because it's very sad. And we must address these issues holistically, the issues holistically. I was in Abad the other day, and we were received by people there. And I think part of the reason why people like us can enjoy any kind of reception in the Southeast is that they still have hope that maybe one guy can come and make it happen. I hope we can do that together.
I believe in Nigeria not to take us to, and I as a young person in Portharcourt, it's always my dream to meet you, to present my ideas, and help with the campaign. In the public election, I have ideas. I didn't really do it in school, but with my dreams and ambitions, I know that if I can put my thinking into it, can help other young Nigerians.
Wow, he actually put TakeItBack there. You can raise 42.
Yes. Source was sourcing for campaign.
So your target, he has been able to raise 49. Yes. As of today, we've raised $49,000 online, but our goal is to raise 2 million. And our goal in Nigeria is to raise 1 billion naira in local naira. So far, we've raised $1 million naira. $1.2 million as of today. We opened it about 3 days ago. So people are buying into that. Thank you seriously.
Part of it shows how we can put in some ideas of how to raise funds.
Can we? Can you get in my card? Okay. And you can get his information. Just step aside and take care of it.
Yes. So yes. Well, okay. I wanted to know how you tackle the issue of high cost of governance.
High cost of governance
and the discrepancies we see with the presidency and
the Senate, the House of National Assembly.
All what you just said, I don't know, but I know you take it into cognizance of the fact that these two arms of government, even the three arms of government, must work together for you to get all what you want. How do you think to bring this act together so that they can work?
You see, we are going to be working for the Nigerian people. And if anybody is not working for the interests of the Nigerian people, it will be clear to Nigerian people that they are not working for the people. Luckily enough, there's a clause in our constitution that allows for senators, House of Rep members who are not acting in accordance with the interests of the country, so we recall back to their constituencies. So I'm not afraid of that. I've seen it happen in the US. They even have delays in budget because they don't agree. But at the end of the day, if you are working in the interest of the people, you will be forced to work for the people. If you are not working for the people will come and drive you out of their house. Because the Senate or the National Assembly is the people's home. They built it with their taxpayers, they built it with their sweat, they built it with their blood. Somebody can't hold anybody to ransom. And to just tell you that it's not that difficult. Buhari is APC, but most APC senators are actually PDP people. But yeah, if they can function, if Buhari can function with them, I'm sure we'll find better people to come. But I hope that a lot of young people will contest as senators and as House of Rep members And we can all go there and create a country of our own. There's no reason why we should vote Saraki to come back to the Senate or Idino Melaye to come back to the Senate to come and be collecting allowances and be wrapping around some funny thing around their neck, claiming that they jumped out of the thing. There's no reason why a former governor should be allowed into the Senate, especially the ones that are known to be corrupt. The Senate has become the retirement and we must end that.
And then finally, you look at the problem of corruption.
Yes.
And you see the agencies that operate on their own.
Yes.
They strengthen them. And the corruption is in them. We are talking about
The solution is to have a president who is not corrupt, and a president who can tackle corruption and fight corruption. If there's any credibility I have, if there's any experience I have, it's fighting corrupt people through the platform known as Sahara Reporters. I have helped to do a lot of work on corruption. I know the insiders at the EFCC, I know how they work, I know their weaknesses and strengths, and it's just a matter of putting people there and creating institutions that work. One of the things I like to do at the EFCC is to be taking mock shots of officers the moment they are arrested. To be able to see their face when they are in distress. Let the press have it. It's one way of fighting corruption by shaming powerful people. And I was actually the one who suggested to the EFCC to be releasing pictures of people who are arrested. I made it that for me to publish any story on this, you have to get the picture. And a lot of people come back to me and say, can you please let me remove my picture from the internet? And I asked them, have you stopped stealing?
I think it's okay now, it's okay.
Sorry. Finish it. Okay.
Whatever needs to be done in Nigeria should be done within the period allowed by the people of Nigeria. Imposing a tenure on the president of Nigeria is not the solution. We need to elect into Nigeria a president that can serve and within 4 years. If you increase their tenure to 6 years, you have just increased your misery by 2 years. Because if I know I have one single tenure, and it's going to be 6 years, I will tell people I'm a bad person, I'm going to hell in that 6 years. But if I know that I can have a second term as an incentive for doing good, I would rather do very well in the first 4 terms. And within that second term, if I don't perform, you vote me out. I will choose 4 years of suffering than 6 years of suffering. I will do mine. And I will choose 4 years of great performance with an opportunity to add another 4 years of better performance than to choose 6 years of great performance. And if I need the man anymore, we still have 2 years that he can't do.
Yeah, for me, I've been following you. Sorry, I've been following you.